What's up? Well, it's time for another Comments Corner. This is where I comment on some of your comments, and this one is commenting on how Ubuntu Linux can conquer the world. Hope you guys still enjoy me doing stuff like this, commenting on some of your comments. It also gives me a chance to catch up on some of your comments that I may not that I may have missed. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the comments on how Ubuntu Linux can conquer the world. All right, no offense. Linux will never be fitted for desktop. The Linux kernel is full of junk, and who wants a beta kernel for their mainstream, for their system? Not mainstream. Ubuntu is a wasted project because it's based on Linux. Linux is fake Unix? Windows better. Just saying, look at Ken Thompson quote in 1999. Windows not that good, but it's better than Linux. I'm not familiar with the quote. Um, some Linux distributions are junk. I'm not sure about calling all Linux a beta kernel. Certainly, if you take something and fork it and make it your own, that's not fully tested. I guess that's an eternal beta. I'm having pretty good luck so far with Ubuntu 12.04 and Linux Mate or Linux Mint Mate. I just installed Linux Mint 15 XFCE and it seems to be okay. I understand what you're saying. As far as never being fitted for a desktop, I would have to totally agree. There was something by Linus Torvalds, of course, one of the founding fathers of the Linux kernel. I think he said something like Linux on the desktop hasn't succeeded because nobody wants to install their own OS. I guess that makes a lot of sense, but I don't know if a name brand company, a big company, were to get behind one Linux distribution and make it their own, not out of the hundreds or thousands of them, it may work, but certainly not right now. All right, Canonical is a little like Steve Jobs for Linux. Have good visions, but myself prefer Linux Mint Mate or Cinnamon. I like Mint Mate on a desktop OS, not Ubuntu, but the chance to get Linux to be much more popular is for now so good it can be, or as good as can be, I suppose, is what you mean. People are not happy with Microsoft Windows 8. Almost all, my friend, and relatives have begged me to install Windows 7 or Linux where they have, I guess, assuming that they all have Windows 8 computers. Yeah, you know what? I would have to agree. Windows 8 is designed for touchscreen. If you don't have a touchscreen like a tablet or a touchscreen desktop, I don't like it. It looks cool, but that's as far as I'm going to go on that. All right, since Unity Desktop, I think it's safe to say Linux Mint has more right to be the voice of Linux than Ubuntu and Canonical. Maybe. Mint is more popular than Ubuntu right now. Now, whether Linux Mint is the best Linux is not up to me. It's not my favorite, but it is the most popular. Nobody can dispute that. When Mint Debian edition evolves more, they could be the undisputed Linux champions. Well, I certainly have liked Linux Mint from the beginning. Ubuntu, I tried it in the beginning, did not like it in the beginning. It took a while for it to mature, and really ever since, I don't know, Ubuntu 10.4, I can't remember. And really after that, with Unity, I think it's matured far enough where it can succeed on a desktop, assuming a big company would get behind it and make sure they would have total quality control. That is probably as hard an uphill struggle, if not more, than the computer desktop. Android is king, and iOS fans are very loyal. Well, I got to give Apple credit for the iOS, for their computers, and of course for the iPhone. It is an uphill battle, but it seems like nowadays, if Linux doesn't come to fruition on a desktop, it may not matter. Canonical is not the voice of Linux. Go fall down some stairs. I'm sorry to hear someone from Canonical fell down the stairs. Yeah. Oh, let's see. For the haters, you do realize Ubuntu comes in more than one flavor, yes, and you can change it at any time, right? If you don't like Unity, you can use KDE, XFCE, LXDE, GNOME Shell, GNOME Shell. It's not entirely Ubuntu's fault if you're trying to run it on older hardware and it's sluggish when using KDE or Unity. Um, Yes, as I said, I just installed the Linux Mint 15XFCE on a machine with just a gig of RAM, and it seems to be pretty good. All right, let's scroll down and talk about a few more here. Okay, point one. My Ubuntu experience has been hit or miss in terms of stability and crash pop-ups. I understand that. Even the LTS versions, really? Well, let's see what else you say here. I agree on the wish list. Point two. The Linux dev community squandered a similar chance when Windows Vista came out. Until that bunch of lovable adolescents in arrested development realizes that one, profits are okay, and two, the discipline of standardization equals tyranny, oppression, stifling of personal expression. Wow. They will make little progress. That's a shame. Well, I'm surprised you're having a bunch of problems even with the LTS versions. Make sure, guys, if you are new to Linux, a newbie or whatever, make sure you, when you download the ISO, make sure you test it. Make sure the MD5 is not corrupted. If you have no idea what I am talking about, check my channel for MD5 corruption. All right, a few more. Another thing that could help Ubuntu is if what you said about Ubuntu using less resources was true. Well, that depends on what version of Ubuntu. There's, like I said, there's Ubuntu, Lubuntu. Ubuntu used to be lighter on resources, yes, that's true, and was a viable alternative if you wanted a lighter OS than what MS offered, but was still full-featured. Not anymore with that Unity crap. You would have to go with other alternatives, okay, such as Lubuntu, Ubuntu, Peppermint. Yeah, I'm not sure if the extra resources Ubuntu Unity uses will hurt or help them. I run, as you see here, I run Ubuntu with Unity 12.04. I dual boot with Windows 7. Yes, Ubuntu Unity is, I would not consider it a light OS, but it still runs faster than my Windows 7. So, granted, installing Unity, say on a 10-year-old machine, may not be the best idea, but it's still faster than my Windows 7. Okay, one word, System 76. Probably there is more. Yes, I have heard of them. I don't know how many they are selling, but yes, System 76 does build Ubuntu-based computers. Okay, not all updates can be installed. I do not want to install any updates right now. Okay, one more. I wouldn't count on it. People don't buy desktop PCs, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No, people don't buy desktop PCs. It's been a long day. And versus Android and iOS, where are all the games and apps? Well, there's a lot, not as much as Android and iOS, I suppose. Not to mention the simplicity, and it's too open. Google did the right thing. Yeah. They kept it open enough for the community to step in and develop for them. With Linux distros, you can release a crappy clone of Ubuntu and call it your own, which makes Linux look like nothing more than a hobby toy thing, which again makes a rather shaky market for serious companies and developers. Yeah, I would have to agree. Again, we come down to quality control, some form of standardization, at least for the mass market desktop PC. I think Ubuntu can pull it off. Of course, so can Linux Mint. I know Linux Mint, they're selling their own PC. I forget what it's called, the Mint Box. But like I said, maybe it doesn't really matter anymore that Linux has not succeeded on the mainstream desktop PC. All right, well that's it for this Comments Corner. I hope you guys keep enjoying stuff like this. I certainly enjoy doing it, and I will be signing off for this one. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Welcome aboard all of the new subscribers. That's it. Thank you so much, and as always, I will catch all of you sometime in the future. Bye-bye.